You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. We rarely talk about money, especially in this conventional way. Today is Earth Day, and we're going to share our unique perspective regarding the connection, how about the 5 levels of wealth. That, by the way, is today's topic that connects you with your personal ecosystem. How can these two things be related? That's a really good question. This isn't a philosophical discussion. It's grounded in our focus to be helpful for you today. We are married intuitives with over 25 years experience who created the Ecosystem Approach. This is a groundbreaking way to see yourself in the age of Aquarius. We help you unleash healing and potential that is unknown today and is totally unique to you personally. This is not your typical type of energy work. We help you with life-changing internal discovery that is powerful, rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Jason, I know this show is based on an article you read about wealth. Wealth creation.
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, it was titled The 5 Levels of Wealth.
Okay.
And I Googled it, and actually it was a kind of a generic article from one of those financial sites. And I Googled it, and there's a lot written about these 5 levels of wealth creation.
Okay.
And I found it really interesting because the article was unremarkable. The article was very good about just putting down the basics, what the 5 levels were and so on. And I just thought it would be interesting to put that out there.
Okay.
Tell you, the audience, what they said, and then tell you why we disagree with it and why we think it's backwards and how you can do it better.
Sure.
And so first, we want to say that we are not against the creation of wealth.
No, not at all.
And people come to us all the time wanting to have more resources, more money, and we help them with that. And we're not being any sort. There's no type of prejudice or judgment about that at all from us.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're also going to connect it with Earth Day. Okay. And that seems today's Earth Day. And
Happy Earth Day.
Yes, it is.
All right.
It's Happy Earth Day. And we're going to make the connection between Earth Day and the 5 levels of wealth. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's way out in left field. You ready? Here we go. Fasten your seatbelt.
All right. So, Jason, let's start with the 5 stages of wealth.
The first one, and this is in the article, and I'm just going to repeat what was said.
Okay.
Is to establish stability.
Okay.
And that's the ability to pay all your bills every month.
Well, that's logical.
It's sort of logical. A lot of people never get there.
That I do know as well.
Yes. The second stage is strategy.
Okay.
So once you can pay all your bills every month, have a strategy to have a financial plan and execute it.
Okay.
See, again, it's logical. The third level is security. You have a fully funded emergency fund, and you have a growing investment portfolio, and a comprehensive financial plan.
Okay.
So you've got your finances secure, so to speak. And then the last 2, which is freedom. They say freedom, and then they say investments work harder than you do. In other words, you're, no matter whether you're just sitting around with your feet up or not,
Okay.
your investments are producing enough income so that you have the freedom to do whatever you want.
Well, and some people would say, my money's working for me.
Yes.
Okay, that's what that means.
Yes. And
Okay.
people pursue
Okay.
freedom a lot. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Okay.
And then the next one, which is, dear to my heart, is abundance.
Right.
But then they say money as a tool to fulfill life purpose.
Whoa, okay. Now here comes the argument, everyone.
Yeah. So freedom and abundance, we talk about that all the time.
Yes, we do.
And our perspective, this isn't about a philosophy. This isn't about saying the money people in the world are bad. It's about you and what we can do to help you personally, okay?
Correct.
And your personal finances.
Mhm.
So we would, if typically this article, The 5 Stages of Wealth,
Okay.
is represented as a pyramid. So abundance, which is at the top, is at the pinnacle of the pyramid, and at the bottom is stability, with the ability to pay your bills every month.
Well, and I understand the need to be able to pay your bills every month, but when I look at this from an energetic point of view, I see that, well, I'll say two ways. I see that it's not quite complete in what they're looking at. There's something's missing.
Yes.
And I need, and so you're gonna talk about that. I know you will. But I also, this feels as if all of these things, the stability, security, freedom, abundance, and there was one more strategy, feels like there's something missing.
Well, it's because to do this, to implement it,
okay,
the people who implement this the best, first of all, the people that implement this the best take a machine-like approach to life. And if you take, which is programming yourself.
That's correct.
And then to expect freedom and abundance at the end for a machine, it's not possible.
Well,
that's the biggest flaw that I see.
Okay.
Freedom is something that happens inside of you. Abundance is something that happens inside of you.
Yes.
And this
connected to your essence.
Right.
Okay.
And this article is all about things you do outside of yourself.
Right.
Things you do in the world that have nothing to do with whether the inside is free or abundant or feeling good about the world.
Okay.
And we have some experience with this because in the 25 years that we've done this work,
right,
a lot of people who we've worked with have been people with wealth.
Yes.
Whether it's first generation, second generation, whatever. But we've
Correct.
seen that, and it's so clear. It is so clear that wealth in and of itself not only does not give you freedom or abundance,
it doesn't make you happy.
It doesn't make you happy. And theoretically, according to this, you should be, but you're not. Now, the people that believe this the most are the people that are still struggling with stability and the ability to pay your bills every month. They said, oh, if only I could have more money, then I could have the freedom and abundance to be happy. And I guarantee you that is not the case.
Well, it's actually, am I correct? I might be going right to the punchline here, but it's actually the other way around, isn't it?
It is. And if you were going to listen to us, and we're going to talk about how this applies to Earth Day and you in the next segment, and we're getting close. But so here's what we see. Okay.
All right.
Financial people, and if you've ever met a lot of financial people, and I forgive me for this generalization.
Okay.
But they're not someone that you would find dancing in the park. Even if they have freedom and abundance, they wouldn't be dancing in the park. They're buttoned up, they're logical, and maybe even kind of dull. And they're not, they're not someone who exudes an abundance of life that to me,
that is the truth.
If you ever watch the comic
Cartoon.
strip.
Yes, of course.
You know, I love Snoopy doing the Snoopy dance
Yes.
where he's just he's
And having a ball.
having a ball.
Yeah.
You know, I see that as a kind of happiness. Now you can get that from drugs and act that way.
Or alcohol.
Yeah, and that's not true happiness, but
yes,
you know,
right.
that's
temporary.
yes. If you the things that they're talking about, freedom and abundance, are intangibles, and at the root, they're energies.
Yes.
And when
And so why would you expect a machine to be able to have
exactly
those? All right.
You know, financial people only deal with things. You know, I mean, I
meaning moving money from here to here, taking money
logic,
from this
math, you know,
okay. Adding up formulas and
yes,
such.
yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
the reason that people can't pay their bills every month. So let's go back to the first one.
All right.
Stability.
Okay.
From our perspective, is that it comes from unmet needs that come from their emotional story.
Yes.
Whether they spend too much, there are a lot of people that are high earners, but they spend too much and they still have financial problems.
Right.
They may there are people that save too much. There are people that can't spend money. They can't enjoy their money. All they can do is hold on to it over and over again.
Right. Okay.
Then what they're doing is recreating their emotional story that, oh, I've got lack. Or maybe they there's all sorts of ways that you can sabotage the first part of this pyramid, which is stability.
Yeah.
You know, it can be from obsessions, compulsions.
Yeah.
It can be, you know, any sort of addictions. You know, whether it's buying dolls for a doll collection, or you know,
correct,
or
right.
Or whether it's alcohol, drugs, and that sort of thing.
Right.
So,
all right, I get that part. Jason, let's do the summary of this segment, and then we'll we'll keep moving.
The 5 levels of wealth is commonly talked about in financial circles. We see it as an illusion that is commonly repeated so many times it's accepted as fact. The belief that you can attain the top 2 levels of wealth, which are freedom and abundance, only come from people who don't have wealth. The higher levels of human development are not external to a person, but come from doing inner work that is usually at odds with the activities necessary to achieve wealth. The truth, we've all heard it so many times before, that money does not buy happiness, is at odds with the 5 levels of wealth.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about the number 1 Earth Day activity you can do today and how that will help your personal finances at the same time. Hey, stick around for this one, everybody. I even need to hear this one. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the number 1 Earth Day activity you can do today and how it will help your personal finances all at the same time. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Okay, Jason, I'll bite. What is the number 1 Earth Day activity I can do right now? And how will that help with our personal finances?
To work on your ecosystem. I'm always shocked, but that's this notion that humans are individual ecosystems is not widely accepted and pursued.
Oh,
I'm flabbergasted. I don't understand.
Okay.
And by the way, that's it's the basis of our name, the ecosystem approach. Yeah. And marketing people have told me it's kind of a stupid name because no one gets it.
Right.
You know, but
we want everyone to get it, to understand it.
Because if you want to have wealth
and happiness,
and both at the same time,
and health,
yes, you know,
health,
or have money and the ability to enjoy it.
Yes,
I mean, so many people have it, but they don't enjoy it.
Right.
You know,
right.
And I see that It's a big deal, and that's an internal process. It's
Yeah.
not an external
Yeah.
process. And there's a lot of articles out there to tell you how to do the nuts and bolts.
Well, sure.
But the problem even with that is when you know the nuts and bolts,
Mm-hmm.
there's always a pandemic.
Oh,
There's always a natural disaster.
okay.
There's always a sudden illness.
Or a sudden death.
Yes. So that no matter how much you do the nuts and bolts for your wealth development, there is something that can push you off course. But when you have that internal ecosystem that is healthy, which is what the ecosystem approach is all about,
That's correct.
then you can adapt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ecosystems that have a natural disaster. Here's the thing about ecosystems.
Okay.
Ecosystems that have a natural disaster will come back to life if you remove the toxics.
Correct.
And the quicker you remove the toxics,
Right.
the faster it comes back to life. You don't have to motivate it.
Right.
You don't have to train it again.
Right.
You don't have to do anything. It knows how to do it.
Well, and you know what I always think about, this is just a visual, but I always think about the baby duck that someone puts in a bath of soap suds, so to speak, and washes that duck off and then lets the duck go because there's been a disaster of some kind,
Yes.
an oil disaster.
Oil spill.
Yeah, oil spill, exactly. And then somebody comes along to help because their ecosystem says, I see that there's something I can do here today.
Yes. And so using that example, that's a good example.
Okay.
The duck is an ecosystem in and of itself.
Exactly.
It belongs to other ecosystems, but it's an ecosystem in and of itself.
Exactly.
And if you take away the toxics, it knows how naturally to heal itself and recreate itself.
Yes.
And be healthy
and strong and thrive with life.
But if you're a machine and a natural disaster happens, if you're this happened during the 1920s when they had the stock market crash.
That's right.
You know, people who had high wealth and all of a sudden they lost everything.
Yes.
They were jumping out of windows. They were killing themselves.
That's right.
You know.
There was several.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because they didn't have a healthy ecosystem. They got the money.
Right.
They felt entitled to it.
Right.
And they didn't know how to react if it was taken away.
Exactly.
And if you have a healthy ecosystem, and that comes from inside, it's not outside, it's inside. Here's the other thing.
Okay.
The money system in the country today, in the world today,
okay,
is not based on natural laws.
No, it is not.
It's not based on natural laws. And I've called it gamified.
Okay.
I've talked about the game.
Yes.
You know, I see that even when you as an ecosystem, when you go out to the work world,
okay,
you have to, it's almost like learning two languages, because on one hand you want to be natural in and of yourself to hold your ecosystem, but when you can do that, when we remove the toxics, you can play the game
and still be healthy
and do it well.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, you can do both.
So
it's very possible. A lot of people go to either or. I'm gonna reject the world as it is. I'm gonna go live out of my my RV. And I've watched a lot of RV, that sort of thing. But
to each his own, everyone.
And it's not. There's nothing wrong with that. I just say, you know, when you try and get away from the world, it's hard to do that, and it doesn't really work, because it's like you're trying to get away from that part that's inside of you, and
wherever you go, that part that is inside of you,
because it's based on the false belief that the problem that you're having is outside of yourself. So if you remove yourself from that problem, it'll go away. But it's truly, the problem is inside of yourself. So if you can't do the stability thing, the ability to pay off your bills every month,
correct,
there's negative energy attached to your ecosystem that is keeping you from that. And sometimes, and I want to acknowledge this, the inability to pay all your bills every month come from toxics in our general ecosystem here in the world.
Correct.
You know, this money system is not fair.
Oh,
It doesn't
not at all.
reward the best among us.
No, it does
And
not.
in fact, some of the worst among us can rise to the top using techniques that aren't so positive. But if you understand that,
Mhm.
then and you make your own ecosystem healthier, you can figure out ways to play the game and get what you need from that money system. Now, once you do that, you may decide that, hey, I wanted to be a billionaire, but I'm not sure I want to be a billionaire anymore. When you start working
Right.
on your own ecosystem, but that's a personal decision for you, not for us to make, for you to
Correct.
make.
Correct.
And
True.
the pyramid of the 5 stages doesn't work when you treat yourself like a machine.
Right.
And you see so many people in the financial world, they're cold, they're lifeless. They may drink a lot, party a lot, but are they the best among us? Are they happy? Do they have healthy relationships? Do their kids love them?
Yes.
You know,
I see what you mean.
it's and people, if you could connect to the natural world, you see the benefit of living in harmony with it.
Yes.
That's what Earth Day is all about. But the first thing you have to do, and this is the other thing, I'm going to go off on a tangent here for just a minute, but
Okay.
Earth Day, there's so much talk about Earth Day in terms of air, water, soil,
Yes.
changing all those things that are outside of yourself. That doesn't make sense to me either. The most important thing you could do in Earth Day is start with your own ecosystem. Okay, pick up some trash. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, absolutely.
Clean up an ecosystem, go plant a tree, do all those things. You can do
And
all those
there's
things.
nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with that.
But what you're saying is,
if you're spending time doing those things, then you're not spending time with your own ecosystem.
well, I have a
That you're missing the point. You're missing the whole point.
and not to mention the whole point of Earth Day.
Yes. Here's the other thing, and this
Okay.
is the big thing.
All right.
If people worked on their own ecosystem,
Yes.
Earth Day may not even be necessary. In other words, I love this story, and you know this story.
I do.
We used to live in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and there was a mountain range that we lived right in is San Bruno Mountains.
San Bruno Mountains.
And there was a proposal at one point to cut off the top of those mountains, take that soil and fill in the bay so that there'd be more real estate available to sell.
That's correct.
And it was a woman that said,
No, it wasn't a woman. It was 4 women, and I apologize. I only remember one, and she was married to Singer Sewing Machines.
Oh, okay.
It was her husband, but she and if I am correct, and forgive me if I'm not, but I remember the other two. One of them was her husband was the president of Cal Berkeley, and then the other one was some very large company that was in the Bay Area, and there was like I said, 4 women, and they got together when they heard about this proposal, and you can tell I have a lot of feeling about this.
Passionate about it.
I do. I have a lot of feeling about it because it was the first time I had ever heard, other than Rosa Parks, that a woman could make a difference and that men would listen. Well, all of these women got together. They were all having lunch and they were talking about this proposal to cut off the top of San Bruno Mountain and fill in the bay. And these women, they became outraged with what people were talking about doing for money.
Yes.
It was all, the basis of it was about money. They didn't care about the ecosystem that they were going to destroy regarding the San Francisco Bay.
And here's the point of this whole segment.
Thank you very much.
The point of this whole segment is that if you, these men who were thinking about cutting off the top of San Bruno Mountain,
Yes,
were acting like machines.
yes.
To a machine, that makes perfect sense.
Well, of course it does.
You want to create more possibilities for earning income.
Correct.
It makes perfect sense. To an ecosystem, if you start working on yourself, developing your own ecosystem, you connect with those natural parts of yourself
Right.
that says, no, this doesn't feel right.
Well, and I'm going to jump in and I'm going to say it this way. When you start working on your own ecosystem, this is really, really, really important. Then you actually start to see not only the value of who you are and what you bring to any table that you sit down on. And one more time, I've got passion here, but also other people can see your passion and they will ask you, how is it that you feel about this subject or that area or this sort of thing so much? I can see you make a difference. Why?
So
And you start with your ecosystem.
people that have been co-opted as machines won't get this, but people that are kind of 50-50,
Correct.
they might be encouraged to say, I want what she's having.
Exactly. Yeah, we've all heard about that movie.
Yes.
It's not exactly the same, but the point that we're both getting at is make a difference. And you start with yourself first.
So the summary, for just a quick summary, your healthy ecosystem is the foundation for creating wealth and making the world better. Start with your own ecosystem first. Don't act like a machine.
Yes.
Start with you.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yep.
In the next segment, we're going to get you started working on your ecosystem, and especially as it relates to your money and finances. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to get you started working on your ecosystem, and especially as it relates to your money and finances. Okay, Jason, let's tell the audience how to get started on their ecosystem as it relates to money and finances.
The first thing to do is take a minute, go take a break, go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org. Sign up for our free section, which includes our newsletter. It gives you a whole bunch of content in our website.
Correct.
And that's the first step.
Okay.
The second is start with the areas around money that you are conscious about now.
Meaning, oh my gosh, I can't pay my bills this month.
Yes.
Things like that.
And that would be fear of not being able to pay your bill.
There you go. I was going to say, or, oh my gosh, I had an extra medical bill this month, and how am I going to manage this and pay for medication?
Yes.
Things like that.
All those things.
Clear fear around all of this. Be specific if
shame,
you can.
resentment, anger, bitterness. It's unfair. All those things, because you can't figure out solutions when those emotions are present.
Right.
And convert your emotional issues to about money to clearing statements.
Well, and we were just talking about that. One of the biggest things. We're actually gonna. I don't know where it went, but we were gonna talk about how I've always been able to make money. And this is just an example, everyone. I've always been able to make money, but in my family, it was semi-known that if you needed money, just go to Patricia and ask her, and she'll always have some sort of money on hand.
It was part of the emotional story because everybody looked at you as the servant that takes care of them.
Yes.
It was so if I need money,
exactly. So why not go to Patricia and get it from her? Well, the biggest thing is that in the beginning, until I actually started doing this work with Jason, that I really understand that I didn't even question if somebody asked me about money or to give them money, especially in my family. I didn't do it. And today, I am completely aware of it. And by the way, I got rid of the S sign on my forehead. Sucker.
Yes.
Regarding money. Go ahead.
So ask yourself, what is your biggest emotional issue around money now? A lot of times you won't know it right off the bat.
Or
if you have no idea, always clear numbness.
Yes. Or the first one is, well, it doesn't matter. I don't. The false belief that that's where you have to stay stuck.
I'm powerless. I'm powerless around money. I'm or the shame that says I don't deserve to have money.
Correct.
I know someone and that if you asked her, she would say, well, my problem is I don't have enough money.
Right.
But we can see very clearly that it's not the amount, is that she is so that whenever she gets money, she has to spend it.
There's a rule.
Right. But that's completely,
Right.
she's completely numb to that.
Yes.
She doesn't know that.
Yes.
She thinks if she just had enough,
then she wouldn't have to worry about it.
but the way she operates, there's never enough.
Yes.
Because whatever she gets, she has to spend.
Yes.
So it's a process.
Yes.
So as you clear away more and more of these things, you see the veils and illusions,
Right.
or the delusions that you tell yourself.
Good one.
You know,
Yeah.
I know I had a sort of the same thing with my first wife, is that she had this deep insecurity about working, you know, and
Mhm.
she was fearful about interviewing for jobs. She couldn't promote herself. Well, that affected our finances for a long, long time,
I'm sure
you
it
know,
did.
and most of the problems that I had was not because I had problems with money, but because of my relationships. There was dysfunction in those relationships, and that's what caused the problem.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
here's the other thing. Energy,
This is huge.
yes, energy that's attached to you doesn't blame or punish. And a lot of people think about karma, that I just have bad money karma.
Right.
No, no, that's not true.
And by the way, even if you think that, clear it.
Clear it. Yes.
Yes.
Because karma is highly misunderstood. We can do a whole show about that.
We sure
but,
could.
you know, this idea that you deserve something or you don't deserve something.
Right. Or I've done this, therefore I need to be punished. And
Yes.
how you punish me is to take away money.
Yes. And so whatever's happening to me is part of my karma. Well, that's
Right.
not true.
Right.
Clear it.
Yeah.
But if you believe that you don't deserve money or deserve to be punished, dark negative energy is more than willing to block you or create that reality for you.
Exactly. Exactly. So one more time, if you start working on your ecosystem, then and start with money. Today's a really good way to do that. Start removing the negative energies you're holding on to, even if you can't see them all or feel them all or understand them all. Start clearing them. And you know, some people sometimes I have to write things down because I get so overwhelmed by what I need to clear, because I have issues with this or that. By the way, I don't have issues with money per se, other than there's a part of me that believes if I have money, then I want everyone else around me, meaning my family, to have money.
Yeah.
That's something I need to clear.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, it's your emotional story.
Yes.
That's what, you know, I know for me personally that, and I didn't realize this until I started doing the ecosystem approach, even after years and years of meditation, by the way, it didn't help me have more insight into me. It was the ecosystem approach that helped me with that. But I always worked really hard. But looking back, I see that there was this shame that says, I don't deserve to have high income. So I worked really hard, making very little.
Yeah.
And not when I look back and I said, well, I could have gone over here and made way more money doing the same thing I was doing.
Right.
But I didn't. It somehow I was blocked. It was
and there was that fear there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fear and or shame or belief that I didn't deserve it.
Exactly.
You know, when you do the ecosystem approach, when you work on your ecosystem,
right,
we have a good example, and then we're going to go to the summary. Okay. But we bought this tree. It's called Japanese maple red bark. Coral maple. Yeah. And not this year, but last year, it got hit with this snowstorm that was really like 100-year snowstorm here. Right. And we had planted it in the ground, and it took a big hit. You know, really did. And if we had to do it again, we probably would have covered it during the snowstorm, but we did.
We didn't. Well, first off, we didn't expect it to be the snowstorm that it was. Yeah. Go ahead.
So it looks like it took a hit. You know, there's some dead branches up in the front, and you can still there's some leaves that are growing up this spring, but it's going to take a while. It's a progress
to recover.
Yes. and we're going to have someone come in and prune it, and
Correct.
that'll make a big difference, and it'll slowly but surely, it'll take a while.
Yeah.
But that's how your ecosystem works. You start removing negative energy, and you see some more things, and you move some more negative energy.
Exactly.
You see some more things,
Yes.
and just keep going.
Yes.
So,
yes. Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
the way to focus on your ecosystem to help you with money issues is to create a clearing statement around your issue or issues. Is it spending too much? Not earning enough? Is it connected to inability to cooperate with a partner? Is it unexpected financial hits, or any number of reasons? Energy doesn't blame or think you deserve punishment. If it's blocking you, just clear it. Often the answers about money difficulties exist within your emotional story and are energies that can be cleared. As you clear away the issues connected to your emotional story, that's when you have a real freedom and abundance.
Yes.
At that point, you decide what you want, how to have it. Focusing on your ecosystem using the ecosystem approach is the way to true freedom and abundance. Remember, we talked about that in the first segment, freedom and abundance. You don't get it by being a machine. You get it by applying the ecosystem approach.
And removing negative energy.
Yes.
Right there. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to help you remove negative energy to develop your personal ecosystem and make it easier to overcome your money issues. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to help you remove negative energy so you can develop your personal ecosystem and make it easier to overcome your money issues. So we didn't teach you how to do the clearing and removing negative energy.
So here's how we do it. We basically have a statement, and it ends in a verb, to eliminate. And when you hear that verb, you, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, gather up all those things that we say to eliminate, whether it's veils and illusions. Most of them are veils and illusions and barriers, but it could be specific emotions.
Sure.
Intangibles, and just gather them up in your body and blow them into the processor. Moxie's putting the picture of the processor up now.
Thank you, Moxie.
goes in the top, it gets processed, comes out the front as neutral.
Yep. And we all know that removing toxics from ourselves and the environment is amazing for everyone. So, Jason, take it away.
Here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions, so I can see that the 5 stages of wealth is based on humans acting like a machine and is contrary to the freedom and true abundance it promises at the end.
Nice and easy. Take a breath.
Take those veils and illusions
and throw them away.
Blow them into the processor.
I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit and to eliminate the veils and illusions, so I can see that the best thing a parent can do for their children is to show them how to work on their ecosystem and start early so they can have good money abilities and productivity.
Yes.
All right. Nice and easy. Take a breath. Veils and illusions, throw them away. You don't need that. But neither do your kids.
And to eliminate the stress, anxiety, and overwhelm in my life about money that could be removed by focusing on my ecosystem and removing the toxics that are attached to it.
Take a breath and blow it out. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that human beings are in reality ecosystems that should not be treated or be programmed like a machine. Nice and easy. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that true freedom and abundance that money and wealth can offer comes from people who have healthy individual ecosystems, not from machines that have produced money all their life.
Take a breath. I want a healthy ecosystem to be able to do that. So, and to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that training myself to be a machine to accumulate money is contrary to my ability to enjoy that money after I have it. Yeah. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that the best thing I can do is create clearing statements around my money difficulties and remove the negative energies attached to me to help my personal ecosystem.
Yes, take a breath and blow it out. And to eliminate the barriers so I can see that negative energy around money doesn't blame or punish you for bad actions in the past. It just needs to be cleared. Take a breath and blow it out.
The barrier so I can, and to eliminate the barrier so I can see that I can have money in my life to improve the health by improving the health of my personal ecosystem and by removing the negative energy attached to it.
Take a breath. And the last one regarding the clearing statements, we're going to activate life force in just a minute. So, and to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that the money system in the world does not abide by the rules of the natural world, but the best way to play the money game is to make your ecosystem healthy. Starting right now, take those veils and illusions, throw them away, and those rules. Now we're going to activate life force energy. Life force energy is the most powerful energy that any of us have access to. And it goes like this. Follow along. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy so I can use that life force energy for all that I need, want, desire, and deserve, but also so I can see what my money issues are, remove those negative energies, and then move on with my life starting right now, today. Pull in that life force energy, let it go in through the top of your head, let it go all the way down to the tips of your toes, stop it right there, ask it to turn around and bring back up any negative energies that are still hanging around. Take a breath and blow it out. Jason?
And to activate life force so I can have hope to have money and a healthy ecosystem.
I love it. Pull it in. Let it go to the tips of your toes and have hope that you can have that healthy eco money system. And to activate life force so I can trust that with a healthy personal ecosystem, I can have money and the resources and really enjoy it. Pull it in and blow it out.
And to activate life force so I can decide to focus on my ecosystem to make it healthy first and then money.
Exactly. Pull it in and blow it out. Last one, and to activate life force so I can be happy and healthy and creative, have clarity, awareness, objectivity, but have courage and confidence and knowing to be able to see what's standing in my way. Doesn't matter if it's money or if it's negative energy regarding your health and your happiness, relationships, all of it. Pull in that life force energy to have what you need and want and blow out any negative energy left over. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Next week is going to be like it's kind of be different. It's a question and answer for us.
Okay.
And about personal things that you probably, most of the time we just talk about the ecosystem approach and energy topics and those types of things.
Correct.
And people have asked us about, more personal things and talk about our personal life more. And that's what we're doing. Okay. So, I hope you enjoy it. I think it'll be a really change from what we've been doing.
Correct.
But if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is what I need. I'm struggling to pay my bills every month, but I know that there's something in my ecosystem that's causing me to have that problem.
Correct.
And I want to remove that first. Here's what you do. We made it really simple for you.
Okay.
First of all, go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org. It's all one word.
Yes.
And sign up for a free section. Every week you'll get the clearing statements written out,
Yes.
what to say, the
Mhm.
processors right there,
Yes.
and just a little bit of a couple paragraphs of a newsletter about the topic of the week.
Correct.
And then listen to our show every week.
Yes.
It's kind of that simple.
Yeah.
Clearing is cumulative, so the more you do, the more you the better, the deeper you go.
Yes.
And we've been doing it for 25 years. We still clear every day,
Yes,
a
we do.
lot.
Yes.
And we can't imagine. The only regret we have is that we didn't do this sooner. And we had,
Yeah.
if I can imagine if we did this 50 years ago,
Oh my gosh.
how deep we could have gone and things that we could see.
Wait a minute. I'm not that old.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So visit our Facebook page, and the title of that is theecosystemapproach.org,
Yes.
just like our website. And then you can preview our videos there. And please, if you go there, like us, we'd appreciate that.
And just know that we know that the ecosystem approach is the best way we have ever found to make our lives better.
And today on Earth Day, the best thing you can do to help the Earth evolve is to start with your own ecosystem
That's
first.
correct. That is correct.
If more people, if we had a critical mass of people whose ecosystem was becoming healthy, then we would all know
what to do.
Yes, exactly.
And how to handle it all.
Yes, exactly.
All right. With all of that said, we'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem, especially on Earth Day, is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.